grade 8, 9, 10 kids looking to play prep, what are maybe like 3 things they could focus on to, I guess, better their resume to play at a prep level and get into a prep school?
For sure. I would say the biggest one is know it's your caliber. Like, know it's your caliber.
Mm-hmm.
If you are a guy who doesn't start on their high school team, let's try to make a guideline where it's like, hey, man, like, we're not good enough to play yet.
Right.
Like, you need to get better to play at this level. A second thing is, like I said before, just know your role. Like, know what spot you can, like, know what you play and how you play, and find a team that needs that.
Mm-hmm.
And third, just be ready for the speed.
Right.
The speed is so much different than high school basketball. It's insane. Like, you see these kids, I think LBA last year, the team out in London, beat a JUCO team or a D2 school. I forget what team it was. And that is college level basketball losing to high school kids.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not a walk in the park. The lifestyle is not a walk in the park. It's a grind and it's hard.
With the kids you have now,
yeah,
and the kids that you coach before, are there kind of qualities, maybe even outside of ability, that you can kind of spot and be like, this is the kid I think that's going to get it the quickest and maybe go even a little bit further? What are those qualities you think that kind of shine out?
For sure. The one that comes to mind right away is like the willingness to learn. Mm-hmm. And I had to explain it to one of my kids who's a more senior kid this year. Mm-hmm. But like, it's not just yes, coach, and move on. Like, don't get pissed at me. Yes, coach, I missed this read. Like, yes, coach, I missed this assignment. It's, yeah, coach, but wait, I don't know what you mean. Like, mm-hmm. Can you explain that? Like, let's learn as opposed to just yes, coach, move on.
Yeah.
So the willingness to learn, I can tell. Like, you can tell right away when a kid gets in the gym if he's asking questions. Why do I do this? Why are we setting this screen here? Why is this? Why do I have to angle this way? Why are my feet set this way? You know what I mean? Like, there's so many things that you have to learn myself too. Like, if you ask me a question and I don't know the answer to it, I'm going to go home and be like, all right, why didn't I know the answer to that? Right. So the willingness to learn is like massive for me, as well as just like doing anything for the team. Like, if I say, go out there and shoot the ball when you're open, go out there and shoot the ball when you're open. If it's to go out there and rebound headman, don't dribble the ball up the court, rebound, dribble the ball, like rebound, outlet, and run. Like, there are rules.
So that's the hardest one. I don't think anyone really catches that one too quick. You want that ball, you want to run.
Yeah, of course. Get rid of it. It's like, dude, you can't dribble. We turn the ball every time we dribble it.
Yeah, honestly. So we got into a lot of the stuff that makes kids successful at the prep level, but what else happens in like the prep, I guess, ecosystem that really helps these kids go to D1 or, really sought after in CIS programs?
Yeah, you know what? Like, the D1 thing, I know is going to be it's always a topic of conversation. Mm-hmm. And the biggest thing about what I think prep is, mm-hmm. I think prep is prepping you for your level.
That's good.
Does that make sense? Like, the biggest thing for me is you are who you were recruited by. Mm-hmm. So if Sheridan College and Humber are recruiting you, that's your level. Right now. So if you're like a fifth-year guy and you're getting recruited by Laurier, Waterloo, McMaster, Brock, any U Sports team, mm-hmm. and then the colleges, you're a U Sports guy.
Yeah.
If you're getting calls from high major Division I's, mid-major Division I's, yeah, you're going to get a ton of calls from Division II, high Division II. Mm-hmm. You're a D1 guy right now. So that is really tough for a lot of kids to kind of understand. Yeah. And if they're not being recruited, then that's my job. Like, I have to make those calls. I have to sit there and grind hours on hours on hours to get my guys looks. So that's 100% on me. Their recruitment is on me. But it's understanding what level you are.
That's a really, really important point that I've never thought about. And there's nothing wrong with being recruited to a U Sports team, a CIS team. Like, those are it's basketball is basketball. I'm hoping to get someone who actually who actually played for Ottawa and played pro, made a ton of money. Like there's still ways around it. It's still a good situation.
It's an amazing situation. And if we go back to Halton, if we think about Halton
Mhm.
basketball as a whole, I know more guys right now, well, it's from my age group, but who are playing pro who didn't play D1.
Right.
Mishak Lufield played at Cape Breton. He's playing pro. Matt Marshall played pro. Abendigo played pro. Dan Dooley played pro. And then you think about like Halton and all that, like you don't have to go D1 and play pro.
Mm-hmm.
If your goal is to play D1, I love it. Like that should be your goal. Your goal should be, if you're a basketball player, play the highest level basketball you can play.
Mm-hmm.
Best opportunity to go to the NBA, whichever kid says they want to go to the NBA. The highest percent of kids who go to the NBA play Division I. So yeah, let's try to get there.
It's tricky too because you could scratch and claw. Like if you're dying to play D1 basketball, you can claw your way probably into like a last second offer somewhere where maybe not the highest level. You could do it, but don't you want to play basketball? Like so,
and that's the biggest thing. For sure, that's the biggest thing.
Like you said, play at your level, right? And if you have to really press too hard to get that D1, are you playing?
Exactly. Like, and that's the hardest thing because he'll be fine if I talk about it. A kid that I worked with starting last year, Mike Mattis.
Mm-hmm.
He's from Oakville, 6'8", stretch 4. Every single team in the country wants a 6'8" stretch 4 who can do it, right? Mike wasn't getting any D1 looks. And he was getting calls from junior colleges. He was getting calls from the top D2 programs. And I was having these calls for him and with him. And these teams really want him. Like the top D2s wanted him so bad. And then he got a sneaky D1 offer. Like it was a Howard offer. And it just wasn't a fit for him. So it came down to a couple schools that are D2 and then a last minute offer from the school he's at now, which is a D1. And it was like, Mike, what do you want from this? Like, do you want to go to one of the best teams in the country at that level? Or do you want to go to a mid-major school that's Division I? Bunch of humming and hawing. He did his thing. He talked to all of his different people who were involved in his recruitment. And he's like, Coach, like, Dustin, my goal is to be a Division I basketball player.
Right.
So even if I come in as a 16th man, I'm going to bust my ass for 4 years, and hopefully I can do something out there. So it just totally depends on the kid. Like myself, I might have been like, you know what? I'm going to go be the guy over here. Like I'm going to go do my thing, try to get some all-conference teams, try to break some record, whatever it is.
Right. It's different personalities. Like there's some kids that can do it. Me, I mean, I was never even close to that level, but I think my personality would have been the kind of like, I would have liked to play, you know, whatever it is, whatever your sport is. But also considering D2 and JUCO offers are legit. There's my school right now, U Buffalo. Yeah. They were primarily a JUCO team where they were just picking kids off left and right that were outperforming the JUCO level. Yeah. So don't discount that as well. Like those are also good offers. And if it doesn't go D1 right out of high school, it doesn't mean it's not going to be D1 at some point.
I don't even know how many guys last year from Canada went D1, like 50 or something, maybe 60 prepped. Out of how many prep teams? Like how many teams are there in the GTA that are prep schools? Right. Like tons. And only plus all the regular high schools, plus the AAU programs, only 60 or something Canadians went D1 last year. Yeah. So that is like, that's not the be all and end all. And if it is for you, then yeah, you'll be able to get to some JUCO down there and bust your butt and perform against grown ass men playing college ball who you need to be better than. You know what I mean?
For sure.